I can like you come across very humble and like everybody has such complimentary things to say about you, but it is, and this isn't a bad thing. It is really hard to be successful in this business without an ego. Like you have to have an ego
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
really make it in the industry. How were you able to host Around the Horn for so many years without making yourself bigger than the show?
I think you can absolutely ask the people closest to me in my life. I mean, I have a thick skin, and but I have a strong sense of self and ego, and I'm a contrarian by nature too. So go ahead, ask Josh Bard and Aaron Solomon. Aaron Solomon and I have been Aaron's been producing the show, and I became the host, and we both jumped up maybe 2 levels to get that. So we both took a job with very little uh, um, previous history doing this, and we both had strong views. I certainly have flexed my ego muscles in the building of our show every day, and I have learned my energy, as strong as it is, needs to come with, and I need to consider how other people are going to take things, as all of us do. I wouldn't say I'm egoless. Absolutely not. No, 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 no,
Yeah.
no. I would say, and like I told you, I regret. I should have been screaming at the top of my lungs, or that our ratings were as good as we were, or that our show was trending as well as it was, or that. How do you do a show every day? I mean, you don't think about it like I don't think about it like that. I just don't. I came from a school of
So,
thought where I don't think I was in your scripts. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Or I was in your essay. Um, I don't know if I have the right answer for you to
So
that.
let me ask this
Yeah,
then. Is
yeah.
there are there any regrets about not making yourself bigger than the show? Because like look, there was a time where First Take was bigger than Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith has since made himself bigger than First Take, and it paid off to the tune of a $100 million contract. And now he's thinking about running for president. So like, do you ever wish that you made the show more about you? Like you came in and you got rid of those opening takes and the closing takes, but then as you got more comfortable 10, 15
Yeah.
years in, do you wish that you brought some of that back?
Hmm. I can't say I do. I would love to be able to say that would have maybe been a greater career move. But as
Yeah.
fulfilling as I found this show, I
Yeah.
still, you know, love putting other people in position to have the show be about them that day. I never really. I mean, the show's not about any one person. We couldn't have made episode 2 without Woody Page or Bob Ryan or Tim Kalisha, and I think we all feel that. We couldn't have made it without the mute button and all these things. I mean, to get back to your ego, there's one thing that sticks in my craw. It was that probably I didn't be the outward face of the show. I see how valuable it is to be the outward face of the show, saying how good and successful you are, and
Yeah.
yeah, that so factor that into ego, sure. Or I think a lot of people love nostalgia and they remember how this show started.
Yes.
And you know the show always said the show was started by Max Kellerman, and and when he was the first host, and I saw the show as we were getting all of our farewells, and that's in the first and the second paragraph of the show, and I'm thinking Max is at home and he's just being attached to a show that's being canceled, and he hasn't worked on it in 21 years. I mean, when every sports center comes out, they're not mentioning who hosted the first 3 weeks or First Take. When First Take's on, it wasn't like Jake Crawford and Dana Jacobson started First Take with Woody Page and Skip Bayless. That's not necessarily mentioned every time the show's mentioned. So yeah, that'd be me flexing my ego a
Hmm.
little bit. I'm happy to have done 4,700 episodes. And I think people know that. So I know. Yeah, I'm trying to work up an answer here for you, Brandon, but maybe I'm not doing the best of jobs.